to JCLive, your weekly source for JCL news and fun. I'm your host, Mr. Kurt Ristroff, Publications Chair for the National Junior Classical League, an organization of middle and high school students in classical courses. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good day, whether it was a holiday for you. I think a lot of people got off school today. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope everybody's had a good start to your week. Welcome to the show. We have something a little bit different for y'all tonight, and it's going to be a good show. We are going to be doing a review of a video game. This isn't the first video game JCLive. You know, we had Magister Craft on as one of the first episodes to come on and talk about classics in Minecraft. Today we're going to be reviewing an award-winning game from Supergiant Studios. I pulled up their Wikipedia page earlier. The game is Hades, from Supergiant Games, not Studios. It was released in September of 2020, and it has won a bunch of awards. It's won Game of the Year for a couple of categories. I've got to scroll back down to it won Best Indie Game and Critics' Choice at the Golden Joystick Awards in 2020. It won Best Indie Game, and that's Independent Studio. Best Indie Game and Best Action Game at the Game Awards in 2020. And I downloaded it last week, and we're going to try it out. So with me here today is Rais Kambaj, who's the NJCL First Vice President. Y'all have met him before. Rais, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm excited to talk about something like I really love. Video games are like one of my big passions.
Yes. And Rais is the expert at this game. Like I said, I downloaded it last week, and I've played it for maybe an hour and a half, and Rais has beaten the game more than 10 times. Isn't that what you said earlier?
Yep, got the true ending.
So you know all the tips and tricks and everything that I don't, but Rais, Rais has this game for his Nintendo Switch, which can't stream to YouTube without extra hardware that's not in the budget for us to buy. That said, of course, if anybody wants to sponsor JCLive, we're always on the lookout for talking to you, Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel, and Cool Ranch Doritos, and I don't know who else would sponsor
Clutch Gaming
this.
Chairs.
Yeah. I don't remember the companies that make the gaming chairs, or else I'd bring that brand up. Or, of course, Kellogg's. If Kellogg's Pop-Tarts wants to sponsor the show, we're always on the lookout for that. So, anyway, I've got the game on Steam, which is a PC platform, so I'm going to be bringing it up and playing it while Rais does some narration, tells me what I'm doing wrong. We're gonna play through the game a little bit. We're gonna talk about our impressions of it. It is a classically themed game. That's why we're doing this. Magister Craft does classics in Minecraft. This is a game where the whole premise is classical mythology based. We may do some other reviews of games like Age of Mythologies. Rais, have you ever played that one?
I have not.
It's an older.
I don't think I've actually heard of it either.
Yeah, it's an older real-time strategy game that I played a little bit when I was younger. Arik in the chat, yes, I will be playing the game tonight, and Rais will be talking. God of War. I don't know if we can do God of War on this show. We could do Age of Mythologies probably. But
there's also like a Kid Icarus. It's a Nintendo game, but it's very mythologically themed too.
That's true. We'd have to emulate it, right, to get it onto this, but we could look into that. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring up the game and we'll talk about our impressions of it. So we've got we're just going to be listening to the game audio, the soundtrack itself, which is really great. I've enjoyed. That was my first impression. You open the game and the soundtrack starts playing, and it's a really good soundtrack. So that was my very, very first impression of the game. Let's bring it up. All right.
Actually, the really cool thing about the soundtrack is that it's canonically played by Orpheus. So that explains why it's so good in a meta sense.
So Orpheus with his guitar and his electronic music.
Yep.
That makes some sense, sort of. Okay, so this is the loading screen of the game. This is the main character, Zagreus. We are going to get into some spoilers for the game, for those of you who care about that. The premise of the game I'll be talking about what I know from an hour and a half of playing it, which isn't all that much. I've had some things that have been revealed. Reyes obviously has played much more, so he can talk more about that. But if you're looking at the game and you really don't want to know any of the content ahead of time, we'll be sure to let you know whatever spoilers we say before they come out. So, let's see. This is the main character, Zagreus. He is a son of Hades in the canon of the video game. And in the background there is Hades himself, who's sitting on a chair, and we'll see him in a little bit. And yes, the chat is on the stream. We embedded the live chat for, maximum authenticity. Anyway, let's
hop into it.
Yeah. So you can see I've played it. I've gone through it about a dozen times. Okay, so this is the gameplay. It's WASD controls. So I'm controlling this character using the arrow keys. I have a dash. I actually have 2 dashes because I've unlocked a second one. And where I am, let's go into the overworld house.
And the main chamber.
Yeah.
So this is Zagreus' bedroom.
Yeah, we'll go back to that. The premise of the game is we are Zagreus and we're trying to get out of the underworld. Here is the underworld. This is sort of the main chamber that we're in. We can navigate around. We can see some souls that are waiting in line to see Hades here, who's giant and sitting at a desk and has a very, very much a King Yemma from Dragon Ball Z vibe, if you're familiar, which is, or let's see. Yeah, that's a good comparison. So I think that's a character who you go see, your soul goes and sees after you die, and then he's sitting behind a big desk and he's overwhelmed with all this paperwork and he's just sitting there judging souls one at a time. And you can interact with Hades some. You can see Cerberus is over here. We can pet Cerberus.
Yes, you can pet the dog. That was a big selling point in this game when the trailer came out.
Yep. How are the audio levels to the chat? I turned down the master volume a little bit. Can y'all hear the voice acting? Because the voice acting in this game is also very, very good. If I need to turn up the master volume before getting back into it. Yeah, you can pet the dog as many times as you want.
Each for his 3 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the voice acting in this game is really stellar, especially for an indie game, because even like really renowned RPGs like Persona 5, for example, they only have voice acting for a specific like phrase. And Hades has voice acting for every single spoken line, which is quite phenomenal.
And there are
considering the amount of dialogue.
Tons and tons of spoken lines. Yeah, there's a bunch of dialogue, and that's one of the places where the game really shines. Is there are, like, here's Hypnos here hanging out. Hades is sitting behind his desk. Nyx is standing over here, goddess of night. And all of these characters have interactions with each other, interactions with the player character. The main part of the game, as you're going to see, is me going through dungeons trying to escape from the underworld. But every time you die, which you inevitably do, you come back here, and then all of the characters have something different to say to you based on the things you saw, the encounters you had, the monsters you fought, and all of those are randomly generated. The dungeons change each time, the monsters change each time, it's all random, and so it's very impressive that they have all of these lines of dialogue for all of those possible eventualities. Here's
I just saw in the chat that the AZJCL president just said Zagreus and Skelly have the same voice actor, which I was very surprised to learn because they have some pretty different vocal changes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so currently this overworld, this House of Hades, doesn't have much for me to do. I can't really talk to people because, like I said, they talk to you based on what you just saw in your run, and I haven't gone through a run yet, so let's work our way toward that. This is another one of the rooms. This is the bedroom for Zagreus. Over here,
it's the Mirror of Night.
Yeah, so I can upgrade things here. I was saving up, so I'm not going to spend anything. There are a bunch of in-game currencies. One of them is this shadow gems here. I've got darkness. That's the one. And I can use that to buy things here. You can see all of my in-game resources in the bottom right here. I'm mousing over them. The top one is Titan's Blood, which I've only gotten one of. I think that can be used to upgrade weapons. Chthonic Keys, which can be used to unlock more weapons and unlock something in the mirror here, and then several others. So a bunch of resources to manage, which is all fine. And it's an interesting take on a roguelike, because I've played other roguelike games, and every time, like, you go into a run and things are randomly generated and you go through it and you probably die, and then you come back to the main house, but you have unlocked some things, so the next time you go on a run, you have maybe more attacks you can use, better weapons, or something like that. So I don't know if I like that or not, because in other roguelike games that I've played, the first time you start, you have everything you need to beat the game. And in this game, it feels like you've got to go again and again and again with little to no chance of getting out until you reach a critical mass of upgrades that lets you more easily navigate your way out. Race, what do you think about that?
Well, okay, I'll have to disagree with you on this.
Mm-hmm.
Most roguelikes actually don't have a coherent story, because when you die, you're just suddenly back. There's no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only game, along with Undertale, where it makes sense of your death. Like, for example, in Undertale, there's this entire feature with the save function that, like, your power is to save and restart. And that's big. It integrates the gameplay into the story. Now, Hades is the only other example I have of this, where every time you die, it makes sense, because you're kind of already dead living in Hades. And you're just brought back to the same pool as all, like, new shades are.
I do like it. It does feel like I'm not going to beat this game until I put many, many more hours into it, but maybe a game should feel that way, so, you know. The weapon that I'm going to choose for the first run, you see here is the selection of weapons. I can pick a sword, a spear, a shield, a bow, and I don't have enough keys yet to unlock these gauntlets. I'm going to go with the bow for this first run, and then we'll probably do another run where I use the shield. So this is sort of the armory. It's the training ground. I can pick a weapon and practice with the weapon. So you can see I have the bow equipped right now, and I can practice against this
Skelly.
This training skeleton, named Skelly, who has the same voice actor as the main character here. There are some cool fight mechanics. You see I get bonus damage because if I shoot them from the back, there's backstab damage. There's also, if I equip the shield, I get a charge, and if I knock him against the wall, then I can do wall slam damage, basically. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's go on a run.
Okay.
It's been 15 minutes, and I'm going to be concentrating for this, so Race, if you want to narrate.
Sure. So, I mean, just one thing I really like about Hades is when the moment you start, you have a random assortment of powers. And we actually got a really good one right now. Oh, yeah.
I'm just upping the volume on.
So, I really like Athena's boons. The boons are like the power-ups given to you by a god. So let's accept it, and let's see what we get. Also, like, the character design in this game is quite special, because I've never seen the Olympian pantheon represented in this kind of, like, syncretic fashion, because this isn't your, like, normal Athena. Like, this is what most people think of when they see Athena. Attack can deflect, special can deflect, cast can deflect. You're using the bow, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna want the special to deflect because I've got a big it's got better surface area.
Yeah.
I think. So I pick one of those three, and you can see the attacks that I have. I can shoot my bow, I can shoot a scatter shot, and I just upgraded that scatter shot ability. So now the projectiles that I shoot out, if people shoot projectiles at me and I counter with this, then my projectiles can knock theirs back at them, which is useful.
Yeah. Actually, my favorite Athena boon is the dash deflect. Because when I play, I usually use the shield or the spear. And so I use a bunch of, like, dashing attacks. So when you have the deflect, any attacks that come towards you just are reflected, while you can keep doing your base damage.
Yeah.
Okay, we go into the next dungeon room. So the first dungeon room is always, like, really easy. One or two enemies.
Yeah. There are also traps on the wall. Like you can see if I run across this, it shoots spikes out of the floor, so I've got to dodge those. I do like that the hazards like that, the traps on the floor, affect enemies also.
Yeah.
In some games, you'll see like stage hazards like that only affect the player character. Okay, so I beat the room, and I get a key as my reward, and I get to...
Do you have a choice? Yeah, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have between Charon Opal and the Palm Fruit. So the Palm Fruit will level up one of your boons, while the Charon Opal will give you coins, which you can use later in the shop.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the So it's a pomegranate, which is, you know, thematic. I've played enough of this game, if I can give a minor spoiler, so if you're looking to avoid those, you can mute your turn off your volume. It has been revealed to me in the first hour of playing this game that this character is the son of Zeus, the son of Hades, but also the son of Persephone, who has not shown up yet, but there was like a letter from Persephone on Hades' desk, so I happen to know that parentage. So I'm imagining that Persephone is going to be important somewhere in the story. Delicious. Okay, so this upgrades one of the boons that I've gotten. I've only gotten one, so I'll choose.
So easy choice. Do you want to head down to the Chaos Room?
Yes, I do. I always do.
Okay, so Chaos Rooms are kind of dangerous because you have to give up your health to enter. So, but you get some pretty powerful stuff from there.
Yeah,
so talk to Lord Chaos himself.
So this is a different type of boon, and this is an interesting character design, like Grace was saying.
Yeah. So like you can see that he's very. I really like the artistic design of all these characters. They have like their own little flair, and then their personality is represented in there. Like you can see all those twisting heads on Chaos right now.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of play to his enigmatic nature, where you really don't like understand what's going on.
And there's going to be a good chance when I ultimately die and go back to the main room, somebody's going to say, "Oh, I see you've been talking to Chaos," you know, and that's the kind of cool interaction that this game is full of. I didn't have to talk to Chaos, but because I chose to go into this room and get this power up, there was going to be dialogue based on it.
Okay. So I feel like the cast one is. Do you use cast normally when you play? It all depends on the player.
I just went from 1 cast to 3, so now I have 3 of them. So I've been trying to use it more, but yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
So you see, there's a trade out. I'm now gonna take extra damage from traps for the next several rooms, and then after I do that, after I make it past those rooms with that handicap, I'm going to get a power-up.
Oh, and then there's also like little nuggets of information scattered around every field, which pretty great. Actually, yeah. I love the way that, see right here, how Zagreus actually talks to the narrator.
Yeah.
So it's not an omniscient narrator because it's actually just like a voice talking to us that Zagreus is also aware of, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So for here I say go for the darkness because that's just like a better currency, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fighting the numbskulls right now.
Yep. So you see something is shooting little mines at me from across the room. I'm going to deal with that in a second.
Yeah, they're the tiny pods. I don't know the names of, I don't know the official names of every one of these guys, but I can give like pretty apt descriptions.
Yeah.
I'd say here go for the darkness just because we don't have the shop open. We don't have enough to buy stuff on the shop.
Yeah. Okay.
So just a little praise for Hades. Mr. Ristroff was going over some of its awards, but I think its most noticeable award is getting nominated for Game of the Year. Just like the Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Which is pretty amazing because
I didn't realize it.
Indie games barely ever get in. Sorry, what were you saying something, Mr. Ristroff?
I didn't realize it had been nominated. No, keep going.
Yeah, so it is an indie game, right? So this is a really small development studio. It got nominated for Game of the Year, and I personally think it should have won. It lost to Last of Us Part 2, I believe, which was a very decisive game based off of like how the plot went. So, but I feel like everyone I've talked to that's played Hades kind of loves it. Yep. Thank you, Eric. It did indeed lose to Last of Us. Oh, cool. We're in a fountain room.
Yeah.
And so fountain rooms are really useful. You get a free boon, and you get a heal up. Resist damage is so good.
Where is it?
Because that's all damage you get is lessened.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And then we get a little heal up through the fountain.
Where is it?
Yeah, I was actually watching the Game Awards live, Eric, and I saw that it was on YouTube. So I saw the YouTube chat being like, "The Last of Us bribed the Game Awards." They I forgot the game studio, but they were like, they rigged it so that this garbage game could get a third installment.
Okay, so I'm gonna let the chat decide. Should I go into the room where if I beat the room I get a award from Zeus, or should I go into the room that gives me an award from Artemis? Vote now on your phones. Oh, it's gonna take a second because there's a delay.
Yeah. So I can just give you my personal insight into this. Artemis, okay. That's what I see first.
We have one vote for Artemis.
Zeus.
And no
I'll give my
votes.
2 cents after. Oh, looks like it's tied.
Okay, Race.
Let's-
You said Zeus?
Am I the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
So I'd say it seems to be tied right now. I guess I'll be the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally think Zeus is a better just overall boons. But Artemis does have this one really good boon that's whenever you land a successful attack, a random seeking arrow will go and attack an enemy. So with multiple shots, it's OP. But I think Zeus is probably better, especially for your weapon set right now.
Okay.
Oh, it's the mini boss.
Oh, great. Okay, so these guys, they throw mines, and they move very predictable. Listen to the music. I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay, I don't know how long these people listen to the music. I can't hear it myself, so
Oh, you can't hear it,
Gonna
right.
interrupt a really good part, but just a cool note about these guys. If you can see that they have this like yellow health bar, so that's a specific health bar for like their armor, which basically means that whenever you hit them, they don't take knockback or stun. So they're really hard to deal with, especially if you are unprepared. And then, of course, when they die, they drop these like inferno bombs, which really do massive damage if you don't see them coming.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
That's what you get.
Let's talk to Zeus.
Brave daughter Athena beat me to you this time, has she? No matter. With her blessing,
See what
now
he's
you
got.
shall be unstoppable.
And see, he
Oh,
just referenced the fact that we've been talking to Athena, so that's one of the cool little interactions this game has. Oh, definitely. Lightning strike.
yeah, definitely the attack.
Easy.
Especially since your bow does a single hit of damage. So this will make every attack you do shoot an additional like bolt to hit multiple enemies. Really useful. Oh, watch out for the... Ooh, there we go. Really took some damage.
I'm okay.
So now we have... oh, just so everyone's aware, you can only have one boon per god for each like part of your moveset. So your special can only have one boon.
I didn't realize
Your
that.
attack can only have one boon, and you have to kind of choose wisely at the beginning. Nah, I don't think that's worth it. We only lost 5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna heal 3
Yeah,
when I
that's
go into
probably
the
better.
next room. Okay.
Also, do you do have the... Oh, check out the little chest over there.
What's this? Oh, I haven't done this. What is
it's
this?
So a Trove Trial is basically, if you unlock it, you fight another wave of enemies, but you get the rewards in there, but as time goes on, the rewards slowly decrease.
Oh, okay. So I need to open it and then beat all the enemies fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's try it.
Okay.
See, Zagreus agrees with me.
Where you are.
Come and get it.
And you see that red voice over there was probably Hades himself.
Damage from traps.
Kill him. Oh, nice.
Seems I need to look
See, and
for
then
better.
it took us a little bit of time, so we get 15 of the gems.
Okay, well, I lost more health than I wanted there. I'm gonna go see if I can.
Yeah, you can buy it again.
Yep.
Boom. Back up.
Forget that thing.
Oh, we have a choice here. So, the heart container will give you 25 extra max HP,
Yep.
while the hammer can be a real hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll adjust your weapon in some way.
I want some more HP though.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
gonna
at
do
this
that.
point in the game, we probably
I've only got
need it.
50.
And that's really interesting, the difference in like your playstyle compared to mine. I know the audience hasn't really seen my playstyle, but I'm really, I love to get like close to the enemy,
Up in
hit him in
everybody's-
like big number of splash damage.
Yeah, but my concern with that, and we'll play with the shield in the next round, but health is such an important resource, and there's really not a great way of like managing the health resource. I haven't exactly figured out how to do it yet. And what I mean by that is, if I dash at somebody, yeah, I'm with a shield or whatever, I'm going to hit them, but then I'm more likely to get hit by their melee attacks at me too. And so even if I take a little bit of damage from each enemy, then that's more health that I'm losing playing this way. And with no really reliable way to get health back, I don't know what the
That's life.
what the best game plan is. But I'm sticking
So
with
what
this.
I like about the shield is that you can really take your time with it. I think it's the like most useful weapon. It's also the most popular, coincidentally.
Is it? Okay.
But it's because you can just stand in a corner and hold shield and nothing can hurt you. Not even Hades himself. Oops, spoiler. But like he's
Wow.
spoiler over here. He's the final boss.
I'm not surprised.
So it's like really useful. It protects you from every single attack, whether it's projectile, whether it's like up in your face. Okay, let's get back to the gameplay.
I promise I'm not bad at video games.
I'd recommend hitting the witches right there. They're like when there's a bunch of them, their attacks like really become annoying. In one of the later dungeons, there you get like upgraded witches that shoot like a whole wave of those little like fireballs or whatever
Great.
at you, and it's really hard to deal with.
Okay. Which one?
I'd say go with darkness. I just
Yeah.
don't see gems being that useful. They're only for like upgrades in the main house, while darkness is upgrades to yourself, which helps me more.
The sound that the witches make whenever they shoot sounds exactly like a villain from Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is another roguelike that I like. I like identical sound. I wonder if it is almost the same audio file.
Nice. I haven't played Crypt of the Necrodancer, but I've
great.
played Cadence of Hyrule, which is
Yeah.
by the same development team, but it's all Legend of Zelda based. So
Yeah.
it's
I've heard of that one. I haven't gotten it yet. It's for Switch, right?
yes, it is. I think it is a Switch exclusive because of the Zelda characters, but it's
Yeah.
quite fun.
I think so. This is a rhythm game that we're talking about. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take up that darkness, and let's see how we go.
Let's go meet Aphrodite, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, because you'll normally get to a shop right before the final boss, or the boss of the room. Oh, let's go, it's free, so
Oh.
accept it. Aphrodite has some pretty useful powers. Because what she does is she inflicts charm, which makes your opponent's attacks do less damage. Which, I mean, since you're talking about how you like to conserve health, that's really nice.
Yeah. So the lore here is that the other Olympians are sympathetic to me trying to get out of the underworld, and so that's why they're helping me out. They want to meet me in person.
Oh, let's see. Honestly, that resists some damage from nearby foes is probably best because you already have the 5% from Athena
Yeah.
plus the 10%, and most attacks are close range. So now you have 15%. 15% defense.
Okay. So
Actually, here is the boss of the room, or boss of the section. This is Megara. She's one of the Furies.
that's a familiar name, but not. I mean, Most people are probably familiar with Megara, who's not a Fury in classical mythology, so that was interesting.
Yep.
She's got one wing, so
I'm
she's
sure he'd welcome
a
us.
one-winged angel,
Or maybe it just-
That's Sephiroth.
much
If
like
anyone plays
a
Final
particular
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy character.
have no envy for your father.
Sorry, hold up for a second.
Yeah.
Besides, I happen to enjoy my own responsibilities.
Okay, sorry. My parents were calling me.
Oh, okay.
So, here we go. This is the first boss of Tartarus. Or the main boss of Tartarus.
Ah, I can't believe I got hit by that. So she runs in a
So, I guess
linear
I'm-
fashion. I mean, she should be a significantly easier... This is not a particularly hard fight, but I'm not very good at video games. There are other...
Megara is actually...
It's terrible.
Honestly, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I find Megara to be a lot harder than the next section boss.
I disagree
warning.
with you.
Spoiler warning, it's the Learning Hydra, but it's a Learning Bone Hydra, because it's like died already. I know Mr. Ristroff, we were talking a little bit earlier with this, and he's having a bit trouble on that.
So I don't know if
But
y'all just saw, I
don't-
just deflected all those attacks with my special. That was the first boon that I got.
Alright, nice. So like with the Bone Hydra, what I really, why I find it really easy is that range attacks work so well on the main head, and then do just dash attack on the side heads that come. Also, another spoiler warning over here. Megara is not the only Fury you get to fight. You also get to fight Alecto and Tisiphone.
Well, it does say
The
first
two
of the
others.
Furies whenever she appeared, so I don't think that's... We've already spoiled that.
Yes, that is true. But so based off of your story events, you actually get different Furies.
Really?
And yeah, so at a certain point you start unlocking the other ones. And
You mean
it's not
instead of
dependent
Megara
on
here?
what you've done, but like there's always once you fight enough times, Zagreus will go into this room and be like, I think it's gonna be Tisiphone next, or I think it's gonna be Alecto next, or I really hope it's not Megara.
Oh man, I'm gonna die.
So pretty interesting.
I have
You do not have the power up that lets you revive, do you?
I have one of them. I get one.
Oh, but you don't want to use it. No.
Well, I prefer not to. Oh, hang on, I have to pay attention to this. That was not right.
That's she looks like she's almost dead. One hit you do it. No, never mind. I looked at that wrong.
Okay, well, so I died,
That's
but I
a
have a bonus life, so now I'm back.
There's actually an upgrade later on in the game that lets you revive every time you die in one room.
Oh, that's
Not
that-
the entire game, just like
that'd
the
be really
single
good.
room. So I think it's pretty busted.
I did it.
Okay, we defeated the first boss. Let's go.
Yes, we defeated the first boss.
My commentary helped. I told you what to choose.
Okay, so now we're in between round. Like we've gotten up one tier. We are one tier higher toward getting out of the underworld. We get to.
My keepsake collection.
Do you have any keepsakes?
The house contract
I've got 6 keepsakes, but I don't know which ones to use.
Let's see. There's a keepsake. If you meet Hermes, he has this amazing keepsake that's every time you complete a room fast, you get a 1% dodge chance.
That's really good.
And what I do is I try to run a strat where I try to get a 100% dodge chance.
I'll take that.
But so it's like by the time I get to the final boss, it's around 27% dodge chance from that one keepsake. Then he has a boon that gives you extra 20 or 25% dodge chance. And then I combine that with this one boon that lets me, whenever I dodge, I inflict lightning to my opponent.
Yeah,
So there's just endless possibility for busted combos.
that's good. I do love how the power-ups interact with each other. Dakota Morosi asks, has JCLive taken a break on any Monday? I can't seem to remember a Monday without a JCLive. There was one where I was sick in November, but that's the only one that we missed. Because I told you all every Monday when we started this show. And we've held true to that except for that one time that I was running fever and couldn't do the show.
Asphodel Meadows.
Yep.
Okay, so now...
Okay. Asphodel.
Yeah.
Within the suffocating
So Asphodel is the second layer, obviously, because we just left the first.
and died. There they persist.
This is my least favorite layer of the entire game. I hate the lava on the sides. Because
Yes.
whenever I play, I always just burn... Oh, here we go. Here's Hermes.
Alright. Yeah,
And
so
you
if-
have a nectar on you, so there's something cool we can do later.
if I walk out into this lava, I take passive damage, and I imagine if you're playing with the shield like Raíz likes to do, you dash a lot, so you probably end up dashing into the lava.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll be leaving shortly.
Right. Yeah, so see, whenever I do that scatter shot and they're shooting projectiles at me, I deflect all the projectiles. That's fun. That's useful.
Yeah, there's this... Yeah, this is the... I think every boss in this specific room is a witch.
Okay.
So your special will come very much in handy. Oh, nope, there's a giant rock.
There is a giant rock. The giant rock is annoying.
Yeah. There's one mini boss. It's like a Gorgon head plus the giant rock.
Yep, I had
And
to
it's
fight that one
busted.
time. Because you see what the giant rock does is it jumps up and I see its shadow, or if you're like me and you have bad eyesight, you don't see its shadow and then it
Mr.
jumps
Russo,
on you.
before you do anything,
Yeah.
click gift.
Okay.
Lord Holmes,
Boom.
please accept this gift as a small token of
Okay, so
appreciation.
here's a cool thing about
Always
giving
keeping me on my
gifts
toes.
is increases the affinity meter of every god you get. So basically, the affinity meter, when it's filled up to a certain amount, the specific god will give you better boons. And then it also gives you a keepsake from the god.
So here's the character design for Hermes, who is probably the god I've gotten the
Hermes, I'm in your debt.
least often. Okay. So let's see what we got.
Actually, let me see. After we do this, I'll tell you guys like a little cool tidbit.
Well, I'm afraid that's not for you to know. But it's not because I was late. Not late for anything.
Okay, nice. Let's see what he got for us.
Yes.
Ooh, there are some good ones. I would normally go for the dash one, but you're not really into that.
No. Hold cast to fire
So-
in rapid succession. That could be useful.
Quick reload. Quick reload is pretty good because it, especially since I see you're using cast a lot, that'll let
Yeah.
you use them more often.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Ooh, felt that.
I'm disappointed when you get the super dash. That is, or the he has one that lets you dash up to 3 more times, so 5 dashes in a row. So good. So you mentioned that Hermes got the least amount, but did you know Demeter's in this game?
No, I haven't seen her at all.
Yeah, and there's a reason why. So spoilers again. So you mentioned that Persephone is Darius' actual mother.
Yeah.
So only after you meet Persephone sometime in the run, right? I won't spoil when. When you meet Persephone, then Demeter starts showing up, which is really cool because Persephone is Demeter's daughter, and you're her grandson. You're her grandson. So really cool stuff.
Okay, so you saw how
Yeah,
one of my
Peter-
shards was out in the lava for a second there? What happens if I leave the room without picking it back up? Do I just lose it?
It auto-plucks.
Oh, good. I should do that more. I have not done that. Otherwise, I've been sure to get them.
Yeah. It doesn't auto-collect unless you leave the room, though. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you see I did
Also,
backstab damage there because I was behind him.
shoot, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something pretty cool.
Everything
Oh
you say
yeah,
is
so
cool,
back to
Raíz.
Demeter. She's all about those ice. She's all about ice attacks. So she has this ability called Chill, which can freeze. She like basically completely freeze enemies and make them brittle, so they just break into ice, or they become slower. And then her cast is probably my favorite cast in the game. It creates crystals that shoot a continuous laser against enemies.
Oh, okay. There's an
Okay,
enemy
so-
that shoots a laser like that.
Power
palm. Now we actually get a choice.
Yeah. Alright, your special is stronger and can deflect. That's been useful. That's going to be useful against the Hydra, so I think I'm going to go with that one.
Sounds good.
Because the Hydra has all those projectiles.
I think we have a choice between 3 here.
Yeah,
if I'm not
it's
mistaken.
these two. And a key.
What was the one in the corner? There was a there was a store, and what was the sorry, like
It was a nectar.
where we are is blocking it. I'd
Oh,
say
it's a nectar.
like normally I'd go for the Charon Obol, but we don't have enough to buy anything useful.
Yeah. I'll go for the key because I'd like to unlock more stuff.
Nice.
Oh man, it's already 8:40. We should go fast.
Oh dang! Okay, speed run, and Hades is actually known for speed running. So when you beat the game, you get this ability to start adding random achievements, or random like hardships in your run. So there's one that like gives all bosses special moves. There's one that puts you on a time limit, so you have to complete the entire game in less than 27 minutes. Which, I mean, judging from the length of this live stream, we would have already lost since we're only in the second room. There's one that gives every enemy, like, armor, one that lowers your attack damage. So it's insane, but the point of those is to try to get, like, really good speed running times. So there's also, like, an internal clock that counts down the time you've spent. So really nice. Oh, we took a lot of damage in this room.
We did.
Oh, we already used our Death Defiance as well.
Yes, we did. But we're getting 10% healed every room for another couple of rooms, I think, so.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it looks like our Chaos Boon is in full effect. I forgot to mention that when that first happened, but Chaos Boons start off as like a disadvantage. And then after you complete a certain number of rooms, we get the big boost.
Yeah, so for 4 rooms in a row, I took bonus damage from traps or something, and then I get the power-up, which was... I forget.
Oh, okay. Get the key. Let's see if we can get anything from that fountain. Maybe it has a heal.
I hope so, yes.
Yep, instant life. Let's go.
Deal plus 50% armor, that's going to be useful.
Oh, we bought everything. Clean up a shop.
Yep.
Zeus, Artemis, or Athena?
Yeah. It's a tough choice.
I mean, why don't we try Artemis since we've already showcased both Zeus and Athena?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hopefully we can get that really good power up. There we go, Eric. We got it for you, buddy.
You are barge of death.
What did he say?
He said choose Artemis.
What is this? I don't think I've been
Oh, this is the forgot the exact name. It's like basically a fairy, and you can't leave until you fight everyone.
Okay.
So it's really small space. That might not be good for our bow.
It's okay. It's all good. Not that bad.
Kill the blue rocks. The blue rocks are infuriating.
Yes. Ooh, a lot of hit points. Oh, right.
Oh,
They drop bombs when they... Oh, boy.
special. I think special kind of spam. Man, you get a different feeling not being able to control the character. Like
You want
normally
to
when I'm
remote
playing
desktop
this,
into my computer and do this.
normally when I'm playing this game, I'll like stand in the corner and just hold shield when it gets rough. I'm kind of a wimp like that, but it works.
I mean, I'm the one camping the room, so...
Just a couple. I think this is the last guy
We're gonna
in the
make-
room. Oh, let's go.
See, I took so much damage there.
Dock and
That's
power.
tough. We do get to see Artemis again, though.
Okay, let's accept it.
Oh no, this is the first
The sooner
time.
you get out of there, the sooner you can save
Yep.
me from my insufferable relatives.
So notice her hunting aesthetic.
Okay. Your cast seeks foes, does critical. Dash strike.
We don't get the really good one.
use. Recall.
I'd say the dash strike or the you don't use dash strike. Let's get the call. Calls are pretty cool.
Okay, I haven't figured this mechanic out yet, so I'll get it, and then you'll have to explain how it works.
Okay, so do you see the little bar under your health bar? Oh,
Yeah.
I think Artemis again. Let's go.
Yeah, I do.
So there's a little bar under your health bar, and every time you damage enemies or get damage, it fills up a little bit. So that's your god gauge. And basically, when it fills up to a certain amount, I only know the switch control for this, which is ZL, but you can use a super powerful move that is given by a specific god. So now that we got the call from Artemis, okay, now you can use it. So what did it say? Press
It's
the call.
F. I used
Oh,
it.
I
I
think
don't
you
know
can
what
use-
happened. I didn't see what it did.
It basically shot a seeking arrow that did a bunch of damage.
Oh, did it? Okay.
So the best call for future gameplay is definitely Poseidon's. So it makes you invulnerable and you can just smash into enemies.
No. It's extra good for Race's preferred gameplay style.
Oh, you can use it again. Boom. See that 130? That was from the call.
I didn't see it. I believe you.
Okay. If you want to use the call, try going back a little bit. You can. Yeah, see that big green arrow? It was quick, but
Yeah, I saw it.
yeah, that was our call.
The amount of hit stun I do seems variable. Like when I hit an enemy, how long does it take before they can attack me again?
Yeah. Oh well, that's dependent on if they have armor or not. If they're yellow, then remember they can't they don't take any hit stun.
Oh, they've got super armor the whole time.
Yeah. Oh.
What's shooting at me? Is
We're
it
getting a
stage
little low.
hazard?
The stage just shoots stage hazard sometimes. Caleb, hopefully we can get the really good enchant. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. Any damage you have chance to be critical is probably the best one here. Because
Right.
normally Hunter's Mark is good, but we don't have anything that guarantees crits.
Here goes nothing.
Key or what?
Oh, it's a nectar.
Key. Let's go key. Okay.
See, I don't like enemies that dash at me. I much prefer enemies that shoot things at me like some of these are, because I can deflect that. Or I could just stand in
You're
and
not gonna like
projectile.
the next room, so I guess I can give another spoiler. After you beat Asphodel, you got into Elysium, and there are these tiny little chariots that run and they like suicide bomb into you, and it's infuriating because there's so many of them and they each do like 20 damage when they explode on you.
Bold of you
And
to
they're so,
assume I'm
so
gonna get
fast.
out of Asphodel.
Yeah, maybe use the call.
Alright.
We are on 7. Help.
You sure are.
So it might be game over if we're not careful.
It is.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
we died.
it was a good run.
So now we get to see all the characters make fun of me for dying.
Yeah, let's start with dear old dad.
I can't get used to that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with Hades himself.
Why, I can scarce believe my eyes. Is that you, boy? Cerberus, look who it is.
Dang.
He's
He's chiding us for being like pretty late.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince.
Cerberus is hands-on best character,
To this father.
just so you guys know.
Anything you say to me, you say in front of Cerberus. You might even learn a thing or two from him of listening and of obedience.
Yeah, nice. Hypnos is always a interesting character to talk to.
Hypnos is irritating. I'm gonna pet Cerberus
I-
again.
He is quite annoying.
Let's go talk to Achilles. Oh, Achilles is not here.
No,
Achilles is fun to talk to.
yeah.
Oh, I can listen
Oh,
into
Mega
a
Red. You
conversation
can listen into
between
their private conversation. Yep.
Nyx and
In each
Mega.
of our commitments to this house, Megara, there is no shame in yours. And whilst your sisters are away, you bear their burden of responsibility as well.
I understand. It's just
Am I supposed to keep pretending nothing's changed? This house is cracking at the seams, and no one's going to admit it.
So this hints at some more kind of lore that I'm assuming is the larger story.
Eternally. Although in what condition, it is ours to decide. Our obligation is to keep the house in order.
I know. You're right. Of course, you're right. I'll do my best.
Yeah, this game really excels at
Best for both our sakes, Nix.
character relations that extend beyond the main characters.
Yeah.
Like, there's a Gorgon head over there you can talk to.
I was there.
No, it's go like to where the bedroom is.
Oh. Yeah.
Then you see the person singing.
Yeah.
Boom. So Jusa and Megara are actually like best friends. So it's like a little cool thing. Also, I think Jusa has a crush on us. I'm not sure, but she'll probably fly away soon.
There she goes.
There she goes. Yep. And we are back for where we started the playthrough.
Yep. So we can do, there are unlocks that you can do here. There are unlocks you can do there. Like I said, you can power up your weapon, things like that. I'll show you all the shield real quick before we go. I don't think we have time to do a run with it, but I can practice against this goblin guy or this skeleton guy. So you see, I've got the shield. That's the basic attack. It doesn't really combo into itself. Like, I just do this over and over again. But you can combo with the dash, and then you can throw the shield too. That's the special. You throw it.
All like Captain America style.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Nice. The bull dash or bull rush, which is the big like supercharged thing he did, is pretty useful, except for the fact that it makes you go forward. This is only in my based off of my playstyle though. Like I like to take it very passive. So what I'll do is there's this one hammer upgrade that changes your dash into like a laser. And so when you hold it, you don't take damage, and then you shoot a laser and you hold it again. That's how I kind of chickened out the final boss of the game.
Okay, so that's Hades. I think that's about all the time that we have for it. But it's a fun game. I've enjoyed playing it a lot. Thanks very much. I forgot to mention to our sponsor for the show. I was joking earlier about getting sponsored by Mountain Dew, but Tyler Heist, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago on the JCL to Science panel and is a moderator, actually contributed to the fund for buying this game. So he donated a $10 Steam gift card towards buying this game. So thank you very much, Tyler, for that.
Very cool.
It's a fun game. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep trying to get better at it. This is probably the only show that we're going to do of it until I get really, really good at it, and then we'll have another show on. And
Hades speedrun.
Yeah, we'll do a speedrun. We'll beat the game in under an hour, under 27 minutes, whatever it is, all that. So.
Nice.
Okay. Did you have anything else you want to talk about it?
For anyone that wants that like garbage IGN score, 10 out of 10, must play. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's been a fun game. It's, I think, $25 on Steam. I don't know what it is on other platforms or anything like that.
It should be consistent with all platforms. Although I did get it for sale, so pretty good buy.
Gotcha. Okay, well, Rice, thanks for coming on and narrating while I was busy dying. We'll see you, I think, in a couple of weeks for officer reports, and otherwise, I'll see you at spring planning meeting.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
See you later.
Later.
Okay, so that's most of our show. I'm going to bring on the officers for officer reports real quick. Before we go, next week's show is going to be a local spotlight with Health Careers High School from San Antonio, so be sure to tune in for that. We'll talk to their officers and I think their sponsor about their club. The week after that is going to be the JCL Legends RPG, which is not quite Dungeons & Dragons, but it's going to be a role-playing tabletop type thing with, I believe, Daniel Newgarden is coming on for that, and 4 of the viewers of this show. That's all going to be run by Joey Chatelaine and Ann Nguyen, who are longtime SCLers, so that'll be in 2 weeks. Let's see. Here's Vivian. One sec, everybody. Hi, Vivian. How's it going?
Hi, I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Let me bring you on. Okay, you're on the show. So what have you got for us this week in your officer report?
So I wanted to talk. Well, first of all, submit to photo and video of the month as usual. I always say this every time I come for officer reports, but yeah, due dates midnight of the last day of the month, so January 31st. You guys have a couple weeks to submit still. And then what I wanted to talk about, like, as the main portion of my office report, was this cool article that I found on New York Times the other day. So as part of Caligula's his old villa, or I am blanking on the name, like his palace, I guess. They discovered a new area of it, and they've like repaired it and restored it a bunch. So I wanted to share some pictures that they had on the article. Tab. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So this was a theatrical mask, as you can see right here. And then they have this really nice, there's all of this other stuff. You guys should definitely read it. I'll link it in the chat really quick. But so there's that. And then they have a new museum. What's it called? Oh my god, I'm really blanking on the name. But a new museum. English, I forgot. And then there's this restored fresco, and then the left side of it is actually like them depicting how they would have made it originally.
Made the fresco originally?
This is the actual mural on the right,
Mm-hmm.
and then the left side is them like showing a picture of how they would have done it, like back in Caligula's time.
So these are new excavations that were done, or?
They've been doing excavations on this site for a very long time, but recently they were about to like build a new apartment building or something, and because Italy has very strict regulations on building and stuff like that, because they have a lot of ruins, they found a new section of his palace, and they found a lot of cool things. I feel like everyone should read this article. I think it's a pretty big deal, if I'm being honest.
All right.
They found a lot of animals. They found some seeds of imported fruits and vegetables, I guess. And they actually found this pipe that is inscribed Claudius. Yeah. That's it.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. And the link is in the chat for anybody who wants to check out that article. All right, that is our show, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in. Like we said, next week we'll be bringing on Health Careers High School for a local chapter spotlight. The week after, there will be the JCL Legends RPG. If you're interested in Hades, or if I should have picked a different weapon or whatever, leave a comment on the video. If you can like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all those things. Do check out the game. Like I said, I'm going to try and get better at it, and then maybe come back and do a speed run on another episode. We'll see about that. Maybe look at some other games, but it was a different kind of show today with a video game rather than an interviewee necessarily, but it's a fun, classically themed game. It's got something in it for JCLers, so I figured I'd do a show on it. Thanks very much to Rais for coming on and co-hosting, and thanks Vivian for coming on to do the officer report. We'll see you all next week. Bye everybody. Cheers.